Hello, welcome. I hope you brought your hunger because today we are going to be talking about Asian cuisine. All right, we are going to be creating. Our task this week is to pick cuisine from Asia, from the nation you were given last week, and you are going to create a page, just one page, where you're going to give me the recipe with some pictures and ingredients and such on a recipe that you're going to choose that originates in your country, right? You are not going to make the recipe again. I don't want your parents to go out and buy things and stuff, but you will be writing about it, okay? So let's begin, right? Now, Asian cuisine, mostly, a lot of times is referred to as Chinese cuisine, but indeed, I Asian cuisine involves more than China, right? There's world class cuisines in Southeast Asia, in the Philippines, in India, in Japan, and in Korea. So there's more to Asian cuisine than just Chinese dishes, right? Here we see some sushi, which has become very popular in the United States. Any of you like sushi? I do, especially the fried California rolls from Sue. I think it's called Sue's Teriyaki, or I don't know. In the east side, it's really good. Right? Asian cuisine is more than just stir fry or curry. It can be described as a balance of flavors. It was influenced actually by a shortage of fuel, grazing land, and even food and cooking utensils, right? So you have to realize that a lot of the cuisine, what people eat, is influenced by what they have around them, what's available to them, right? That's how cuisines of any nation are created, right? There's a staggering array of foodstuffs that were available, right? It was there in this area. It was very rich in spices and such. Chinese cuisine was actually world class 3,000 years ago, rivaling even ancient Rome and Egypt. Influences. Chinese cuisine has influenced most Asian cuisines in techniques and tools and cutting procedures and heat applications, right? The Chinese introduced chopsticks, right? Religion actually played a major influence, right? And it still does, because religion sometimes plays an influence on the things that people eat or their traditions. There's restrictions on certain meats or any meats at all. Some types of fish, right? There are restrictions in certain days and even months, right, on the things that can be eaten in certain days. There's also geographic influences, right, which include a vast coastline. So this means a lot of seafood, and there's monumental distances between pockets of people in the deserts and plains in China, and that plays a role too. Colonization by Western Europeans also played a role. People warring. When people have a war and they invade another country, they also bring along with them their traditions, their culture, especially their food. Nomadic lifestyles can play a role, and also the monsoon season that we talked about, and the climate dictates what it is that you can grow, right? So there's certain culinary groups and regions in Asia. China is the third largest country in the world. Cuisines include Cantonese, an offering of dumplings, seafood, rich sauces with minimal seasoning. And then you also have Szechuan, which is more smoked, hot, spicy, uses a lot of chili, mustard, and ginger. Beijing is known for noodles, pancake rolls, meat-filled buns, root vegetables, and fish and lamb, described as light, elegant, and mildly seasoned. All right. Japan has also become a very popular place as far as cuisine here in the United States. They are noted for their presentation. As you can see, these dishes here are beautifully presented. You have sushi, sashimi, and tempura, which are very popular. Also known for dried fish, pickles, tofu, rice, and eggs, and the famous green tea found to be excellent for minimizing heart disease, right? I love green tea myself. You have a variety of seafood, vegetables, and there's little meat. Teriyaki, wasabi, miso. That's the name of my cat, too, by the way. Fermented bean paste, tuna, and also the famous dashi. Southeast Asia. Uh, it's Subtropical, you have rich in seafood and also fruits. Areas include Vietnam, known for fish sauce, nuoc nam, mom, shrimp paste, lemongrass, mint basil, and baguettes, pastries, and custards. Those baguettes actually, those last products that are mentioned there were influenced by the French colonization of the country before the 1970s. Actually, it was throughout the late 19th century, and they were finally left in around the 1950s. But they left their influence in the cuisine of the region. You have Thailand, right? Most notable feature of cuisine is the curry flavor. Color of curry indicates the flavor profile. As a matter of fact, I have some yellow curry that I'm going to be making later on this week in my house. I also have some green. Green is the hottest, followed by red, and then yellow curry at the end, which gets its flavored from turmeric, so it's not as hot. Um, Muslim curry includes Middle Eastern spice influences. There's other flavors, ingredients such as kaffir lime leaves, lemongrass, holy basil, tamarind, galangal, and saval olek. Other areas of culinary notability. Korea is influenced by China and Japan. Seafood, pickled vegetables, and cabbage, kimchi. Hearty stews and dish known as bulgogi, which I like to go to this Young Vince, this place near my house that serves Korean food and is delicious. You also have Malaysia and Philippines, right? Meats, seafood, pork, right? A lot of pork because they places like the Philippines were influenced by Spain. The Philippines, again, were long colonized by Spain, and because of commerce and the migration with the mainland, they developed their own style, and a lot of it, you'll see some of the words sound like Spanish a little bit. There is a particularly awesome dessert that I like called halo halo. It's made like shaved ice, and it's got so many good things on it. Korea also has the use of rice, kimchi, spice fermented cabbage. You have grilled meat and seafood are common. Some of the seasonings that you'll find are ginger roots, scallions, toasted sesame, right? And chilies, which were brought to them by the Portuguese, right? And then we have the Philippines here again. We have blends of Malaysian, Polynesian, Spanish, and Chinese foodstuffs. The original inhabitants were the Etas, 15th and century immigrants from China and other areas, right? That arrived with Islam religion. And in 1521, Magellan claimed it for Spain and administered control through Mexico. So, as I mentioned before, there are a lot of Spanish influences in the Philippines. Filipino diet never cooks food by themselves, right? It's very social. Fry with garlic and olive oil and lard. You have dishes like adobo, which is a stew in chicken pork. Food may be left in a clay pot to absorb the fat. They use some water buffalo milk and also make a few Asian cheeses that way. And then, of course, just like some of the other places in the area, they use fish paste or fish sauce to season their food, right? Staple foods of Asia, grain. Most areas use grain, especially rice. You got legumes, noodles, millet, and buckwheat. Beans, nuts, seeds, lentils, right? Also very popular. Vegetables include bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, okra, hearts of palm, mushrooms. Fruits include cherries, plums, peaches, pomegranates, figs, citrus, apples, carambolas, and bananas. Right? As far as meats and poultry go, northern countries rely on lamb and sheep. Fresh and saltwater fish are available in most countries. You also have chicken and ducks, very popular. Pork is available throughout, while beef is available in the big grazing plains, right? But it's not as common. Some common flavors. Every region and country has a distinct flavor. Some are very hot, some sort of so mild. Flavor profiles from the various combinations of cilantro, mint, basil, lemongrass, fermented sauces and pastes such as bean paste, soy sauce, rice wine, and vinegar, pickled ginger, fish sauce, hoisin sauce, and plum sauce. Right here we have some common Asian ingredients. Right, I won't read through all of them, but you could see them. And then there's different cooking methods, right? Stir frying, cutting foods in short cooking times, and they use a little oil, right, and a lot of heat, and do it kind of quick. You also have steaming. That's how sometimes dumplings are prepared. You can also steam fish in bamboo baskets. Deep frying is common, like in Japan, where they use tempura. They use rice flour, peanut oil, and other areas for simmering. Salads are used to cool the heat in other dishes. There's a lot of grilling, often in open fires and braziers. And you had nomadic people, meet people that moved from place to place. They picked up dried dung for fuel, actually. And I don't know if I talked about this before, but in another class maybe where I think it might have been in science class where people do use dried dung as fuel. It makes perfect fuel. It burns up neatly, right? You also have some preserved foods with little or no refrigeration available. This was a common practice, right? People go shopping every day for fresh things that when they don't have refrigeration, and then you have a lot of things that are dried and pickled and smoked, so they could preserve longer, right? And you could also dry fruits to preserve them. All right, well, thank you, and that is it for our presentation. All right, we will be, like as I mentioned, you will be responsible for taking the country that I gave you, looking for one recipe, and creating like a recipe book page. So we're all gonna have one, and we're all gonna put them together. So do them either in Canva or in Pages, and we'll put these together. Make them look nice. Decorate the edges. Make it look like it's a recipe book page. Okay. Again, we're not making the dishes, right? We don't have time to go get ingredients and stuff, but it'll be fun to put together our book. If there are questions, let me know. Thank you, and bye for now.